Hey everyone, it's Bloodborne here, and it is update time. So, we've got a lot of information that was actually just dropped today. We have a new producer's letter from Severlin, and we also have the preview patch notes for update 19. So, looking through update 19, the information that's provided in there is huge, and I'm not going to talk about every single topic on there because it is quite lengthy, which is good. The producer's letter on the opposite note, though, is actually pretty short, and it doesn't offer a ton of information. Typically, producers' letters are kind of vague. They kind of hint at what is to come. This one actually is really kind of introducing Severlin and um, letting us know where he comes from, his history with the MMOs under Turbine's direction, and kind of just a little tidbit of what we're coming up on. So, update 19 is March of the King, and we are going to be able to revisit some of the locations that were dark under the Dawnless Day. So, places like Osgiliath, the Pelennor Fields, and I think even like the Crossroads over in Athelion. Those places are going to be revised under the phasing that is going to happen from the victory over the Pelennor Fields. So that there's just a little touching on that there. There's a kind of surprising thing that I really wasn't anticipating, that it doesn't really mean a whole lot to me personally, but I know there's a lot of people out there that really get into housing. And there is an update to housing coming. And it is actually premium housing that will actually be located outside of the main areas that you currently have housing. So, classic housing would be your typical ones like Thorns Hall Homesteads, Shire Homesteads, Bree. Um, we are actually getting a new location in the Cape of Belfalas, which this is kind of interesting. I'll say that. So the stuff I've been reading on the forums is so far a little on the negative side, and I can understand. So it's premium in that you can actually own multiple houses. It is also based on mithril. It is looks like it's not based on gold, and a couple of people have hinted that this might be to prevent from people from just buying entire neighborhoods, which could probably still happen. I would imagine there's a limit on this, and I'm sure some people will comment on this and let me know that. I am actually still downloading the updated client right now. Otherwise, I would hop in and have a little bit more information. But yeah, apparently this is free for VIPs. Well, I shouldn't say free. The upkeep is free for VIPs, which is kind of interesting. And from what I've heard, there's actually kinship houses on the islands, which that's pretty cool. Um, the housing was always a neat thing to me. It just wasn't something I used a whole lot. Um, we used it in our old kinship to we'd have meetings there and parties and stuff like that, but that was about it. Um, I would honestly, now again, this is me personally, I would forego the kinship house altogether if I could actually have a true kinship bank that actually had tiers and permissions and things like that. I'd be all over that. But I'm not even going to go down that road because I know that's not going to happen. So we are actually getting a new chapter, or actually, I'm sorry, we're getting a new book. Um, Epic Volume 4, Book 7, The Trap. And I'm not going to actually read into any of that for you guys because I want you to experience that yourself, read it yourself. I don't want to give too many spoilers outside of just like mechanical things. There's actually something that's kind of intriguing to me, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this or how I'm going to approach it. But there is a Flora barter system. Now, reading through this, there's things that you can collect, so like herbs, roots, flowers, things like that in North Athelion, um, that you can barter for Uh, let's see. It's 5 different color items that can be exchanged for various rewards, including boots, legs, armor, gloves, helms, and more. Um, some colors are more common and others are rare. So, again, without seeing what they actually are, I don't know if this is a good thing, bad thing, indifferent. So, it just kind of is a matter of fact right at the moment. So, one of the big things, and this will be very big for quite a few people, is actually the first update to the burglars and the hunters. Now, this is very, very specific and targeted. And what I mean by that is there are 3 fairly straightforward points that they wanted to make. Really, a 4th overall one. Overall burglar damage output has been increased. Overall hunter damage has been increased. So for hunters, the focus builder skills have received a moderate damage boost. Focused consumers have received a strong damage boost, and split shot has received a significant damage boost. For the Bergs, this is actually brought up a little bit of confusion on the forums because of the way the burglar was already set up. But aim now guarantees a critical response, unlocking your critical hit chain. Now, Dr. Octothorpe actually hopped in on the chatter and kind of clarified a little bit. So right now, aim would get you a guaranteed crit. That could be messed with a devastate or a block, parry, and evade, partial, things like that. What this is supposed to do is, it sounds like, give you the response a lot more consistently. Whether I don't know, it's been such a long time since I've done that, but the way it sounds is like you're gonna be able to get the response 100% of the time. Now that may not be accurate. I probably misspoke that somehow. I don't doubt that. We have well practiced now reduces the cooldown of aim by 20 seconds per rank, and heartening prank has been adjusted to increase morale by 2 to 10%, up from 1 to 5%. Okay, and again, this is the first update to them. It was mentioned a while back that they want to. This is kind of the band-aid fix, and there are going to be systematic changes down the line. All right. There's a lot of other things in here. One of the things I'm looking forward to is the new set of featured instances. Featured instances, to me, they're really cool. I like going back and doing the older content. They are rewarding. It's kind of weird, though. And it's weird to me because you go in and you do these tier 1s, and they are really face roll. And you can do the tier 2s for a little bit more fun, but it's staggering to me and astonishing and just blows my mind that I go into these things and how, these things are on a rotation for a week long, and how many people have access to them, and there's still people that that have never done it. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just, it's crazy to me that, this is a very rewarding thing to do, and it's on for an entire week. And, these instances have been around, most of them, for a very long time. And so it's kind of cool to see new people get to do the old content and have it be meaningful for them. So I know that kind of sounded a little bit towards the negative side at first, but it wasn't meant to be that way. It's actually astonishing in a good way that there's reward for new people doing old stuff, which is cool. But in Update 19, the new rotation will be Sari Surma, Fornost, Water, Howard Valandil, North Carton Farm, and Ayabar's Peak. So, just thinking through those, we have 6-man, 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 3-man, 3-man. So there are no raid wings in this rotation, which is bittersweet. Raid wings typically take a little bit longer. Really, it just takes longer to get the number of people in there. But even that's not that long. Something to note is that featured instances will now drop item level 234 jewelry instead of 222. So I'm kind of interested to see if it's actually just that the item level is adjusted or if the actual stats are different. And again, don't have the newest client yet. It's still downloading, so I will have more information on that later. There is some information about the festivals in here. There's something to note about the Throne of the Dreadterror armor is the 4-piece greater set bonuses and the 2-piece lesser set bonuses do not stack with identical bonuses from other set pieces. I am glad that is the case, and I know people are going to be upset about that, but honestly, there are some bonuses that are pretty damn strong to begin with, and stacking them again, even if it's using like level 75 gear, it's just, come on, really, just, yeah, we'll leave it at that. There's some region stuff because we are getting the new regions of North Ithilien, the Crossroads, Pelennor Fields after the battle, Osgiliath after the battle. There are 88 quests and deeds available. A lot of little bug fixes for things. And some other sort of some known issues in there. So again, I encourage you guys to go check out the release notes. That's a big thing too, is actually reading the patch notes. We always see people come in and they say like, well, what happened here? What is this? And it's like, it's in the patch notes. Now I get it. Not everybody's going to read the patch notes. That's cool. But there is a source of information for all the things that are changing so you can be prepared for them. And that's important. Okay. I'm going to kind of hop back over to Severlin's producer's letter for a moment. So that was kind of what he was talking about update 19. That's why I wanted to talk about the patch notes, and then we're going to come back. They actually talked about what about how it happens after update 19. So I'm actually pretty excited for this because they're actually talking about Daggerlands, or Daggerlad, sorry, which is the area north of the Black Gate, and actually going to the Black Gate. So, and they even mention a very well-known riddle and magical accessories fan. Now, who could that be? They also are firmly confirming that they are looking at doing a full-blown expansion for Mordor. They are working through the process for that right now, and they will let us know more as they have more. Again, I'm really excited about this. This is something that I think there is still a place for expansions. I love the fact that we have quarterly content updates because the way that they're delivering content at this point is great. The problem is you take crafting this update and then it brings out this gear, and then you bring out instances this time, and then you bring out an update to PvP, and then you bring out an update to LIs, and then these are all parts of quarterly updates, and they're all staggered, and it's all, and while I really do think that works well for their team, it doesn't work so well for us because not everything lines up properly, and in an expansion, all the pieces are built together for the purpose of launching together. So it's a little bit more coherent, and it feels like, I don't know, like if I go back to like Moria, for example, and Moria will always be the best expansion of any game that I've ever played. It just is what it is for me. But when it came out, I knew what I was getting into. Okay, I knew we were getting the legendary items. We're going to be taking the story into Moria. We are going to have A, B, and C instances. We knew we were going to have A and B raid. You knew all those things were coming out. I like the quarterly updates because it keeps content rolling. It keeps content fresh, which is ultimately the most important thing. But I do like having the structured, like, bang of a expansion. And again, that's just me personally. So with any of the things that we've talked about today, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Do you want an expansion? Do you not want an expansion? Do you like the housing update? Do you not like the housing update? What are some updates? And not bug fixes. I know there's plenty of bugs out there and things like that that they try to resolve. What are updates that you want to see? Yeah, let me know in the comments below. And again, remember to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you don't like it, and remember to hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I hope to see you guys in game soon, and I'll be doing some more videos once I get this client over here patched. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you next time.